Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Well, a few things. It seems that single Enderman doesn't seem to like me, and I have a few things that I'm going to need to recharge. Also, another thing to note, the Ender Dragon seems to have returned to full health. So I'm gonna go get out of here. Hopefully things don't progress too bad, and then I'll be back. Okay, it seems like we're ready to go back to the end, so let's take them down. I got 4 shots, and it seems like I'm gonna need them quite a bit. And let's take times domain. Apparently shift clicking doesn't work. Okay. That could have been bad, and now I hope I'm not stuck in here. Okay. I seem to be stuck because I didn't pick up my linking book and I didn't make a spare one. That's the bad news. But the good news is that I can eventually get out of here if I were to kill the Ender Dragon. Oh, and it's back to its low health, so that's good. So we're gonna need to go in for the kill. Hopefully nothing else sees me. And this is going to take some effort. So we have to kill the Ender Dragon since we can't get our book back. We might be able to still go up there if it hasn't despawned by then. But what we need to do is make sure the Ender Dragon doesn't kill us in the meantime. Come on. And it's easier said than done, since it doesn't seem to mind us being around much. As long as my seeker shards aren't actually doing anything like hitting an Enderman, because that would be bad. Okay, where are you, Ender Dragon? Come on. There you are. Up we go. Now we're gonna have to go like this. Take this off, and hopefully our magazines will be enough. You know, kind of boring waiting for this thing to come in for the attack. I'd like to, you know, not have to wait for the attack, because that'd be the logical thing to do. You know, just go in and attack. That went out. That actually worked out well. So, come on. Okay, 2 magazines. Should have probably made the normal bullets instead of these seeker shots, because if I miss, I hit Enderman. Hopefully they despawn, but I still hit them. They do not become unhit. Okay, going for maximum dodging potential. Shoot! And he ignored it. Wow. That was very mean of you, Ender Dragon. Ah! Come on! You're worse than my mother. Oh, that didn't do anything. Okay. Guess we're gonna have to go for the cease and desist method. Nope. So 17 shots I do say we have left. Let's go down for a landing and armor up again. Okay, I'd like to say something witty at this point, but I guess this is the end of all that nonsense. Okay, come on, taste my time's fury with my diamond sword. It's got smite on it. You smite like it. You smite like it a lot. You were probably knocked back by that statement of horrible, looting? Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. Can you make puns that remotely make sense instead of your normal ones that make no whipping sense whatsoever, it'd kind of be helpful. So, nice weather we have here. I guess we're kind of in an endemic right now. That went well. Just have to find out which ones are angry, which ones hate me, and which ones want to tear out all of my insides. With so many of them to choose from, it's so hard to decide. Oh, it had to hit you. Like I said. Annoying. Oops, you weren't hurt, were you? You weren't the one. You're not the one for me. Oh, you're all vying for my attention. Isn't that sweet? Ah, how nice. Oh, now you're multiple. Great. Wasted shot. Yep, it was a wasted shot. Okay, that worked, and... didn't hit him. So annoying. And it's probably 1 or 2 more shots. Okay, apparently it's 2, because it can never be that easy. And this is actually my last magazine, so I got 5 shots. Stop that! Got only 5 shots left, and I have no idea how likely it is for me to get this. Well, very likely. Okay. For the win! Ah, come on! That's just not fair. I'm gonna throw a Gandhi on you, and you're dead. That's all, folks. I wish I had an experience buffer right now. That would be so helpful. Okay, after we're gathering so much experience that it's going to sound like wind chimes for the rest of our lives, we got everything. Okay, 36 empty casings from that. That was very helpful. Okay, let's take a deep breath now that it's the end. Ooh, what's you? Solidite dust. What are you used in? What are use? You use. Okay, shaped crafting recipe acting as blue dye. I guess that's useful somehow. And shapeless crafting recipe used as blue dye. Ugh. Excuse me from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so I can use you for aluminum dust and a bunch of other useless stuff. I guess that's the only way to do stuff. Doesn't seem like there's any other use for you. Now, there should be... It's very rude to walk around with your mouth agape like that. What would you think? What would your mother think? Come on. Okay, I don't really care what your mother thinks. Please, please don't hurt me. Okay, so there's some meteors over there. I'm wondering if we can actually reach them with our jetpack. Though, let's try to find... What are these, anyways? Probably best to do this instead. Tungstate. Tungstate is used in tungsten dust, which is macerated or industrial grinded. Yay. Anyways, and you're obviously used to make some tungsten using the industrial stuff. Could make wolfram out of it or tungsten ingot, which I don't believe actually able to make anything with tungsten just yet. You can pulverize it, and it is used for some stuff as a substitute, it seems, for other stuff. Though currently it doesn't seem like another useful ore. Now, I believe there is a max height that you can go with the jetpack, so I'm going to have to be wary about that when I travel out. Let's check. Is that there? No, it isn't. So let's travel out to those. And hopefully we don't reach the max height because that could be a problem. And now that I think of it, these meteors are going to be a bit of an issue in the future when we try to build a mob trap here. Now this kind of looks like emerald ore, though it couldn't be. Olivine. Please give me what the olivine is used for. Olivine dust, probably used for get uranium as well. Emerald dust, actually. But what does olivine dust get used to? It can probably be industrial centrifuged or electrolyzer to get magnesium. We're probably going to need to go through a few chains to figure out what the best use for that is. Now, here's an interesting one. This one is Sheldonite. Just by the name, for some reason, I think it's useful. You can get platinum from this, platinum dust, platinum ingots. Now this platinum, if we put this in an industrial grinder, we get iridium ore. That is not bad at all, and I do believe we have mercury cells as well, so we can get some more platinum dust from this. Now I think we have to be able to do something with the platinum dust as well, otherwise there wouldn't be too much point in it. We can make shiny ingots, which I guess are useful somehow, and we can industrial centrifuge it to go further, so making mercury becomes useful. So let's not lose this one and go and get it. Okay, so we got 3. 3 ore is not good enough, and judging by the fact that, oh no, dagnabbit! Ah! Well, that wasn't exactly planned. We're gonna have to get titanium ingots, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get that. We might have some titanium dust somewhere. We probably will have to use some UU matter to get it otherwise, but that is a bit of a problem. So I guess we can go to the Overworld now, because for now I'm done with this place. That was a bit annoying, and we're going to have to get some more linking books eventually, because we will need to get everything back in order. Let's just go to the Overworld, and then try not to lose anything else important that we're not ready to give up. Geronimo. Okay, let's see what we have around us. We got a book to the end, so we can probably just stow this away here for now. And the Sheldonite ore, we're going to eventually get everything ready and etc. But let's see, we already have 3 titanium dust. I'm gonna have to recheck on how to make it easily, because I think the recipe to make it has changed. So let's see, titanium dust, I can use UU matter, which that works, but it's not the best way. Now, is there any byproduct method on getting it? Scrap box, bauxite. Yes, bauxite. We're going to have to get bauxite, or we have to get a titanium comb to get that. Now, bauxite doesn't look like other than bauxite, or we can get it through, but I suppose we can just go to a forest to get that. Anyways, we got 2 of our titanium dust. We're going to need to go to the blast furnace and blast this up. It'll be a little easier, but anyways, I digress. So currently there doesn't seem to be anything connected to this. No energy. Right now we're going to need to get the sufficient power line by probably just breaking this again. We're going to need more energy anyways. So let's get that. And is it still an insufficient energy line? It doesn't look like it. So we're just going to have to wait for that blast furnace to blast up. But in the meantime, we can go and probably this iron dust will just turn into, well, iron, because there's no point having it sitting around and being useless. Stop being useless, you iron. Iron, right? Haha. Okay, so our frame quarry seems to be going quickly, and all of our dirt is getting dusted off. So that's good, and our dust is getting refined. So we got that going. Now our titanium, oh yeah, we actually have a stairway through here. Derp. Okay, so it looks like one of our titanium ingots is done. We'll find it through the purple line eventually when everything is said and done, assuming that it actually has a path for it and it doesn't just get randomly spurted through random areas. That would be bad, yeah. Okay, so we got dirt there, and we don't really need that there, but whatever. So, what else are we going to need? We're going to need to get our battery and our circuit. I think I have a circuit lying around somewhere. I must. There must be a way. Circuit, circuit, circuit. We got tiny piles of diamond dust for some reason, so this is going to be our diamond dust method of methodology. Thank you, and thank you. So we got our 3 diamond dusts. You can go back where you belong, and we're going to need to get, what is it? Let's see, rock cutter is going to require what again? As if I dropped it. I mean, come on, what are the odds that I'd press Q over a precipice? Knowing me, very, very, very high. So there's no point in dwelling on the fact that I was a complete loser and managed to do that. We'll just have to go with the present situation and get everything. So I'm going to need my wires and etc. We have some more bauxite dust, which we can change. But let's actually skip ahead and get everything else working before we worry about anything else working. I don't know. Let's just go with it. Okay, we got our battery, we got our circuit, we got our titanium, we happen to have our diamond dust as well. So after getting it all together, we can finally remake our rock cutter, and I could swear that it was a lot easier to make beforehand, but beforehand I wasn't a complete idiot. So making sure that the rock cutter, huh? You don't have the silk touch on you, do you? Do I have to upgrade you? Huh. That's very odd. Very, very odd. Maybe it only has silk touch when it's powered, which would make sense. Though it doesn't seem to have silk touch right now. Now it does. Okay. You are fully charged. You are working. Let's see if you're actually working. And we got silk touch. Finally. Now that we got that out of the way, oh fudge, for goodness sakes, come on, at least go in your proper location. Now that we got that out of the way, I think we can continue having this suck out all of our dreams, so let's just move this over, have it consume, and we got 14 pieces of UU matter. That's not bad, but we're going to need a bit more than that. So, let's see. I could have pulled an electric circuit from there. Come on. So now that we actually have that, this ruby ore, we could probably help it along. So let's just manually put this in, because there is no room for any of our sorters. I do not believe so. No, not right now. We're still going to need to eventually get that into a more favorable position, but I digress. So let's actually take a peek on how our quarry is going, because I haven't actually... Actually, now that I think of it, I didn't... When I went into the world last, I didn't go into that area. So what that probably means is that it's sending all the goodies, or rather the chicken chunk actually loaded the world, loaded the chunks rather, without me having to go there. So that's actually a favorable thing that happened. Now let's see, there's a Zycraft thing, and this hasn't hit rock bottom yet, so to speak. Though, that's odd. And that's even odder. Ah, you must have been pushed because of the leaf that was connected to you. That's a bit of a problem, so that means our quarry is a little not up to scratch, meaning we're gonna have to manually get this through, because otherwise we're going to have it just working horribly. So it moved over. It didn't move over well, so we're going to need to get a cover somewhere. Our covers are probably over here. So let's grab a cover. We don't really need that book anymore. Do we have any covers here? Cover! Come on, cover! I know you're working here. And there doesn't seem to be, so we're going to need to fix this. That much is obvious. So probably what I'll do is fix it manually, but have it continue to do its thing, so to speak. So have it buffer into here. It won't do the movements, so we don't have to worry about that. But otherwise, it seems like it's working as intended. It just didn't move forward enough. And eventually, well, we are going to need to fix that. So I'll grab a cover somehow. It'll go somewhere, I'm sure. And does it attempt to go farther? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I'll get rid of this, get a cover, place it actually on it, and then we can see if we can get this working. Yay! Sure, it was an idiotic thing to miss, but at least it's giving the opportunity for me to just throw this in and have it automatically eat everything. Now, I think I'll keep some cobblestone because it would be a necessity just in case. So everything seems like it's working. Let's get rid of the useless Zycraft stuff over here, please. Thank you. Beam me up, Scotty. And we got copper and all the other uranium, etc. junk out of the way. So let's get this out of the way. And what I think we're going to want to do is find ourselves going back to our future. No, not back to the future. That is not quite what we need. We're going to need to make a few more linking books, rather regular books, to make into linking books, because that'd be helpful. Then again, we do have some lost knowledge fragments. We only have 7. We're going to need a few more for anything to be useful with them. But I guess that's okay. So, we got some leather, and we got some sugar canes. And there are a lot of different covers. I want to make sure that when we make something a little more fancy, we'll have the possibility to do so. So, for instance, iron covers is a possibility, but some other things I don't think are. And okay, so let's make our books. Let's make a linking book, because that's the best type of book. It's a book of awesome. That's what it is. See, kids, reading is fun. Don't listen to your older brother. They're an idiot. Don't have him. Anyways, please don't kill me. I kind of like my life. It's very fun and encouraging, and I must say it is very counterproductive. Okay, so moving onwards. These things are still going, world anchors, and they have changed in a future patch, though I am not ready to port over to said future patch. So let's see, we have 2 iridium ore. I'm not sure how did I make the iridium ore earlier. I'm not sure. Anyways, and our bees are still buzzing along. And what was I going to do? Yes, I was going to go into the end and actually work on doing some end stuff. Work on the end game, so to speak. Mwahaha. Now, eventually, I will want to get a frame, not a frame quarry, because that'd be worthless use of future resources, but we'll want to get a frame machine, so to speak. Now, I think my end book is here, or at least the place to go to the end. Yes, it is. Let's jump in. And we are through our nice little cozy area. We'd probably want stuff. Okay, now endstone. I want to check what we can do with endstone, because I think there's an endstone dust. The Tome of the Alkahest, we can change a bunch of redstone into the... Okay, let's see. This is quite interesting. So, we're going to need to get some alkahestry stuff done eventually. That stuff will come later. But enderstone dust you can make with this stuff, and I want to see what use it has. Well, we can make sand, we can make helium-3 and helium, as well as tungsten, but that's with the centrifuge, which will take an eternity. We'll probably need some sort of array of such to be able to have any sort of good use with that. Anyways, let's jump in and actually get out of here. Can you let me through? Thank you very much. And let's try not to watch anything stupid. And let's go up. I think there's an asteroid up there, judging by all the turbulence. Yes, there is. And will I be able to reach it? No, I'm just shy. That's a shame. So as you can see, I can only go so far with these little devils. Rather, I can... As you saw, the electric jetpack only went so high. So I'm probably going to want to go to that area first. And maybe we're going to want to light it up, because otherwise all these Endermen are going to continue spawning, and that's not a good thing from what I understand, because eventually we will want to work on a mob trap. So tungsten is really becoming very plentiful, though red power did not make it plentiful earlier, so I'm not too sure why it's like that. Maybe there's some master plan or something. Manganese, that'd be useful. Anyways, let's leave the tungsten for now. There's probably some future plan in red power to use tungsten, though currently there's nothing. I don't think there's anything planned. I'd have to ask Elo, though I don't think it'd be my right to say anything. Anyways, moving onwards. Let's get some more of this fancy ore, because fancy ore is fancy if you haven't got the memo. And this one we're going to want. Now, I'm going to try to do most of my rock cutting while not killing the possibility of me, being horrible with the rock cutter. And how high is that? Am I able to get to it? Only one way to find out. Now, it'd be a good opportunity to see how high. 180 is the maximum that we can actually raise to. So, we're going to have to keep that in mind. Now, I think that meteor... Oop, I got knocked over. Okay, this meteor we're going to want to go to. And it seems like it's prosperous in the sense that, oh my gosh, so many Endermen. And one of them actually knocked another off. That's... not very sporting of you, Enderman. That's my job. And I think I happen to look at 1 or 2 or 5 of them. Probably 20. Or they're probably teleporting around near me. Okay, so none of that fancy soldenite. None here either. At least I won't be wanting an endstone. Though I'm not too sure on how likely it is that I'll survive from all this. So let's gather some of this stuff. And we're probably going to want to... Oh, this is soldolite. This is sheldonite. Soldolite, sheldonite, and really annoying sounds. Okay, so let's find a use again. I probably saw it before, though I forget. It's probably best to see. So soldolite probably acts as another dye, but we can get some aluminum dust by using it in the industrial grinder. And once again, some useless stuff. So this has aluminum, silicon, sodium, So that means it must be useful in something other than just dyes. Please? Nope. Other than the computer monitor, which we aren't going to need much use of, some other dyes, and we can get aluminum, silicon, chlorite, sodium, in the industrial electrolyzer. Chlorite we can make with, what can we use with chlorine? Liquid chlorite? I guess that's not much use of it. Okay, so can we actually see anything else of use up here? Probably not. No, it doesn't look like there's any other things that we can get to readily, though maybe getting over there. This is going to be the last one I'm going for, though it looks like it might be a little too high for me. I got my linking book, so if I need to, I'll just use that. There it is. Ah, it's on the cusp. Okay, so let's see if our hovering can manage to get there safely. I hate how high altitudes just make it die, but I guess it's worthwhile in the end. In the end. It's worthwhile in the end. Oh, yeah, I'll shut up. Okay, so. Now, you're probably wondering what my ultimate goal of just staying in the end is. Well, I'll tell you. It's mainly so that we can build an Enderman EXP farm. There's been many, many, many guides on how to build an EXP farm, so I won't go into too much of the specifics of it when we actually start building it, though it's going to be an interesting entrepreneurship, I think that's how you pronounce it, entrepreneurship in the fact that it's going to give us enough EXP to do a bunch of enchanting, which I know for a fact will be very useful in the future. I'm not too sure on how, but probably maybe making some diamond armor that is blast and fireproof. Hopefully we can attack... fudge. Did I drop one? I think I did. Anyways, basically, we're going to want to get a vorpal for attacking... No! Ah, of course that had to kick in. Okay, so I doubt I'm gonna have enough energy to get any to our main end. So let's just get through here. Our book can just disappear. And we have some Sheldonite, which we're going to want to make use of. So Sheldonite, what's the best method of using you? Probably requires mercury. So there's platinum. We got 1 iridium ore for 4 of them. But we can continue to use platinum dust as well. So let's see. None of these seem like a good use, and platinum dust is probably the next thing that we're going to want to use. Okay, platinum dust, what we can further centrifuge it to nickel and iridium ore. So using this with mercury will give us a yield of, let's see, we get 2 initially from our 8. And then we'll have enough for 3 more. So let's get our mercury. And we're going to need to just jump in here, and we're going to need to turn this off while we're doing things. Which we should probably, yeah, that might be good. We're going to need a certain wire, so to speak, for that. But this copper is not going into it right now because it's full on other stuff. Let's wait for that. We'll have to wait for the copper as well. It only seems like it's 3. But it seems like it's going to continue and persist. So let's take that out, put this in, and we're going to want to take this out and put this in instead. So this Sheldonite will get processed, and we're going to need another mercury cell to stay in there, because it's going to need to consume the last 4 Sheldonite. We'll have our iridium, we'll have our other stuff, and we're going to need to throw that other stuff into not our electrolyzer, but you know what I mean. So how much is it? Probably more. Okay, it was more. We'll just put that in. We'll have it go and get the rest of the stuff. Iron, we're actually getting some ores now, and I want to make this thing a little more useful in the fact that, well, it's probably causing a bit of lag just throwing everything into the fire. I'm pretty sure that is the case. So we're going to need to focus on getting that into an acceptable level. And also charging our jetpack will be nice because, energy is good. Yes, energy is good, therefore we want it. Okay, all that is nice and handled. So we got our platinum dust, and now we have 5 iridium ore. How do I must have had some earlier. I must have had, judging by that amount, 3 earlier, as well as the other 2 that are in here. I'm finding iridium everywhere. Oh my goodness. Or my chunk... the chunk unloader. No, that's not a good name for it. The thing must have found some use for it, so to speak. Anyways, let's see. We have 7 iridium ore, and we're going to be able to turn that into another one of these fancy handy dandy solar panel thingies, because that'd be useful. And we're going to need to refine our platinum dust. Now, I'm not sure what it needs for that. Apparently it just needs that, so let's just throw some of that in there. Let's throw some of that in there, and the remaining can go in here. And then we have everything else. Okay, so now switching this off is becoming bothersome. So let's see a cable that we can basically act as a splitter cable. So splitter cable, I believe, is the one where you can use a redstone signal to turn it off. So 2 pieces of redstone, a lever, don't know where we'll find one of those, and some of those wires that we have too many of anyway. So, where the heck is my redstone? I must be going redstone crazy because I keep on forgetting where it is. That being said, we're still going to need to go get some more redstone and probably need to still go actively mine. Our quarry rather is nice and all, but having it going is pretty much going to have to be a supplemental way of getting all of our ores. Well, it's gonna take a while anyways to get to the point where it's very self-contained, in the sense that, well, it's gonna be able to run constantly. I doubt there's even a chance in hell that our energy levels are going to drop below 50%. If they are, there's, well, need more solar panels, pretty much. So I'm gonna find my blasted redstone since it keeps on escaping me. Maybe it's over here. Quantum leap. Phew, I knew I had some more redstone. So we got our redstone, we got our wires as well. I'll just have to make a quick lever, which we're going to have to do a little leverage on. Haha. And we got this, and let's get that and throw that out and lever. Okay, so this lever we're actually going to want to put in a recipe, and I do think we already have a lever over there, but we're going to need another lever. So this EU splitter cable will prevent any redstone once it's powered. We're going to have to check whether that's possible doing that. Now there's probably a direct method that's required to get this to split, so to speak. Hey, did I say you could do that? No, I did not. Okay, it's still receiving energy, so that's not the correct method. So probably need some redstone to go directly to it, though, unless it just doesn't work. Now there's a thought. Something not working. Maybe the splitter cable is not supposed to split, and it's supposed to split, so to speak. Okay, let's just go up there and see whether we can get things going, and there we go. Or maybe this is just... Nope, it's still consuming power. This is still going. This is a nuisance. Do we have any sort of thing that... Okay, it's a working block. Let me go up, please. Thank you. Let's put 1 piece of redstone, see if it actually visually connects. Yes, it does. Or does it? Yes, it does. So redstone is what we'll need to do. We'll just grab our lever. There we go. Now it's unsplit. And that's working, so maybe if we weren't being so... No, it requires direct redstone input, unless I'm completely messing up. I guess we can do this. Nope. I guess it has to be difficult. We can eventually work on it a bit better than what it is right now, but for now this shall work. And no energy will flow into here at all, so we can willfully just ignore it, so to speak. Okay, so we got that. We are probably going to need some more power, as well as we're going to need a huge whack of material to build our Enderman farm once we get to that stage. That being said, we're not quite at that stage, and we're ooh, look at here. Look at here, look at here, look at here, here. Okay, so if I were to want anything to go back up there, I can just turn it off with a simple lever, since I think we are off the dirt splurge, so to speak. So that will be easy enough to do. We'll be able to refine a lot of cobblestone and be easy enough at it. And also cut off on the lag or something, I don't know. It's not like we're going to be wanting for cobblestone, and worst comes to worst, we just have to make a cobble generator. So I think that covers everything that we're going to be able to do. Probably just tidying it up, finding areas for our tungstate to go, and we're going to eventually need to upgrade one of our solar panels, since we now have a means to do it with our iridium dust, and also change this to some sort of acceptable area, because that is the only way to do it. So we will need to upgrade our blast furnace eventually with the highly advanced machine casings. That will require chrome and titanium. We're going to need a lot of stuff to be able to do that, so that's going to be something that we're going to have to think of in the future. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. I'm really going to need some better stairs than this. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.